Hey guys, Stay Patient here. The date is the 12th of February and welcome to this week's trophy update. Now, you may have noticed that some of my regular content has slowed down slightly over the last couple of weeks. There's a good reason for that. I've actually been waiting for a delivery. For some reason it arrived today. It's Sunday. I've never had something arrive on a Sunday before. But there's a video I want to put up and I'm going to be able to put it up now on Wednesday, thankfully, because it has finally come. And I just wanted to make sure that I could cover everything I wanted to in that video, and it's going to hopefully be like the start of a new era on the channel. So I wanted to hold off doing any of my usual regular videos until that one's done, for reasons that will hopefully become apparent when you watch that video on Wednesday. So keep your eye open for that. It's going to be kind of interesting, hopefully. But obviously today we're here on PlayStationProfiles.com, or PSN Profiles I should say, and we're ready to take a look at all the upcoming releases and the recent releases. There's not a huge amount this week, but there are some interesting games, and there were some new ones added overnight. It's 10 AM at the moment, so I've literally had like an hour or so to quickly try and become familiar with some of the games that have been added literally since I woke up. But obviously the big one this week is For Honor. This is the big AAA title coming out. Now, we're not going to look at a trailer for this one because I'm sure most of you have seen plenty of trailers. It's been shown at the last couple of E3s, and there's probably been lots of trailers and maybe even commercials on TV over the last few weeks because this is coming up soon. In fact, it's out in 2 days' time. I think the beta's been active for, I don't know, maybe a week or so. But there's been at least a few days of beta, which some of you have probably tried out. We'd love to hear your opinions of it in the comments below because I haven't had a chance to try this at all. So if you have given it a shot, let us know what you think. But we've only got 2 days to go until this is out properly. In fact, you might be watching this on Monday, depending on how long it takes to edit. So it might just be one day, but it's out on Tuesday, basically on the 14th of February. That is, if they haven't delayed it. But I've had a quick look through the trophies and I've looked up some of the terms that are used, because quite often when you read trophies, it's like, what does that even mean, So I've been having a quick scour around some of the forums of people sort of explaining what certain features in the game are. And it doesn't look too bad. There are a couple of trophies that might be tricky. And sometimes with games like this, it really depends on how hard the game is to play in the first place. But a lot of it is just kind of farming stuff, playing the game for long enough. Obviously, there are some single player elements. I think the single player is always online as well, though. I haven't really looked into how that works, but it seems like you do need an online connection all the time to play this at all, unfortunately. But there are single player elements and PvP elements. Now we've got trophies here for completing the 3 chapters for the different characters, the different classes. And I'm guessing it's one campaign that's split into 3. We've got a couple trophies here which could be frustrating depending on how they are implemented. Now they get 100% of the breakables from all missions. I'm guessing this is like collectibles that are hidden away, maybe vases or something you can go in and smash, but I'm worried that it might be like break everything in the level, everything that can be broken, because as it says, get 100% of the breakables. So that kind of implies that, anything you can break, you need to break. Now, I would assume that if that's the case, then you'd need to do it in one playthrough of the mission, because obviously I'm guessing if you restart a mission or if you go back and play the campaign again, then they're not going to leave everything that you've already broken still broken. It wouldn't make sense. The level's going to be reset back to how it was to begin with. So I'm kind of a bit worried that this could be a pain in the backside trophy for literally like a bit like on, I think there was a similar kind of trophy on Dead Nation. Anyway, let's hope that that's not too rough. We've got a similar one for the observables, 100% of the observables. That seems like, sorry, I'm getting tongue-tied. Seems like a collectible one, obviously. There's probably stuff you can look at, maybe notes and stuff like on the Order 1886, or maybe scenery that you can go up and click on to view. But then we've got these trophies here for completing the campaign on all the difficulties. Now, realistic difficulty, I don't know how hard the game is. Like I said, I haven't tried it. So this is one of those trophies that really depends on how the game plays and how you get on with it. But that could be one, depending on how hard they've made that difficulty. It could be one that could prove tricky. Anyway, we've got trophies here for leveling up. We've got trophies related to heroes, recruiting heroes, and then you've got to reach certain reputations with each one, like reputation 1, but then reputation 5 with whichever one happens to be your favorite. I'm not sure how that mechanic of recruiting heroes works, but I'm guessing they're kind of your sidekicks or like your lieutenants or whatever. Then we've got a couple of trophies here for killing opponents in certain ways with fire, spikes, throwing them off ledges. In fact, this one here is 50, isn't it? 50 by throwing them off a ledge. There's probably a place in the game where that's easy. You can just stand on like a thin, maybe walkway or something and just keep spamming the throw button. Here we've got the PvP trophies. Now, quite often these are the ones that get in the way of people earning platinums because the difficulty really depends on how good other people are and what the requirements for the trophies are, of course. So you've got to kill an enemy in a 1v2 situation. So I'm guessing that would be maybe in like an elimination game mode where you need to take out the whole team and there's no respawns, as is the case with any elimination mode. So I'm guessing, you need to be the last one surviving on your team and 2 gang up against you. Or it might just be a case of like, it doesn't matter how many, people are left alive. I'm thinking actually this might be the case. I'm betting it's just a case of having 2 people near you, 2 enemies near you attacking you, as long as you kill one of them. So it might not be as hard as it sounds because one of them might be low health from having fought one of your friends or something. We got to kill enemies, heroes. So this is PvP from above. So jumping down on them, I suppose. Right, it starts talking here about dishonorable kills and honorable kills. We got to complete 50 honorable kills in 4v4 PvP matches. Sorry, my face is still half asleep, barely open my mouth and speak. And then we've got to complete a Dominion PvP match without a single dishonorable kill. Now, from what I read, I don't know if this is a definitive answer. It seems to be just the opinion of some people who've played the game and have left their thoughts on the forum. But it seems like the honourable kills are when you just use your weapon, you don't use any environmental damage. And I think you need to get the kill yourself. So in other words, it's not 2 or 3 of you ganging up on an enemy, it's just 1-on-1, you versus them. It's just weapon versus weapon, you take them down. So that shouldn't be too bad, getting 50 of those accumulatively, obviously, it's not in one match. But over your career, getting 50 honourable kills is probably just going to come naturally, right? The dishonourable one, complete a Dominion PvP match. Now, I'm not sure what that game mode is all about. I didn't look up that one. I'm guessing it's some kind of maybe domination where you have to take control of locations on the map or something. But it says complete one without a single dishonourable kill. Now, for my money, I would say that you could probably just put the controller down and complete a match, right? Because if you don't get any kills, then you're not getting any dishonourable kills, right? So that might be super easy. Then we've got things like saving allies and this is probably going to be the hardest one depending on how tricky the online is. Get 5 kill streaks of 5 kills in elimination or skirmish. So this is going to be very much the skill-based PvP one. It's not just a case of playing the game and eventually it will come. You have to be pretty damn good. Now, if you're playing elimination, then it's literally take out the other team. So once all 4 of them are dead, a new round starts. So it'll be quite tricky because I think there's only, I can't remember, it's like 4 or 5 rounds in total. So you'd either have to get like 1 kill each round without dying at all during the whole match, during all of the rounds, or you'd have to get like several kills in a round. So you'd have to be like by far the highest performing player on your team, take out a few of them, not die, and then carry on in the next round. Skirmish, I think, has probably got respawns as far as I could tell. So, it might be easier there. And again, it doesn't say honourable or dishonourable. So you can team up with your teammates. You can go to where your teammates are and try and just get the finishing blow. But maybe you can boost this. I'm not sure, whether there's going to be private matches or anything like that. But it might be a case of getting 8 people together and just boosting it. But like I say, that could be the one. It stands out as me probably as being the hardest trophy in the game. This one is another skill-based one, I think. Get the max renown level 50 times in Dominion PvP matches. Renown, I'm guessing, is to do with your performance through the match. I'm not sure if the max renown level is like a certain level you need to reach or whether it's in comparison to the other players, whether you have to be, the highest scoring player out of everyone in the match or what. But that could be another skill-based one. You've got to do a bunch of kind of farming stuff here. Not farming, but, just accumulative trophies, getting kills and parrying attacks and stuff like that. Dueling. Oh, you've got two. Yeah, okay. So this is just winning. There's a whole bunch of trophies here. In fact, 3, 6, 9. There's 10 trophies. Is that right? Yeah, because there's 5 different game modes, I think. Duel, Brawl, Dominion, Skirmish, and Elimination. So all 10 of these trophies are just for winning 20 of each of those game modes. And the reason they can fit that in is because this game has 55 trophies, which is quite a high amount. But that's nice to know that you'll literally get 10 PvP trophies just from playing and eventually earning enough wins in each mode. I like to see the fact that you can level up gear. That's pretty cool. You've got to max out one of your pieces of gear there. There's a bunch of stuff here all about like equipping emotes and armor and all that kind of thing. Yeah, it keeps going here. Feats and blah, blah, blah. Then all these trophies are to do with war assets, deploying war assets. Now, I'm not sure if that's a PvP thing or a campaign thing or maybe a bit of both. I think, whenever you see the trailers, or gameplay of the game, it's not just you versus other heroes, is it? It's like loads of other guys, just AI characters and stuff. So maybe they're the war assets. Maybe it's a case of maybe getting a kill streak or something, or a point streak, or racking up enough points to be able to buy war assets and send them in or whatever. I'm not really sure, but there's a lot of trophies here related to them, so they're obviously a key aspect of the game. So it seems to me that if the campaign on the highest difficulty isn't too bad, and maybe if you can boost, or maybe if there's some like easy strategy towards getting kill streaks in the PvP, then maybe this won't be too bad a trophy set. But the majority of them look really easy. It just looks like there might be one or two that could be a bit trickier. Now let's crack on, guys, and have a look at some of these lesser known games. Now you may notice Emily wants to play here. This is just a stacking trophy list. I'm mentioning it though because we haven't actually spoken about it before. There are 3, if we hop back here, there are 3 versions of the game, or at least 3 regions with separate trophies. We've got Europe, North America, and Japan. I think the Japanese version is the one that's just released, but I'm not 100% sure. Anyway, there is a trophy guide for it. It doesn't have a platinum, and it's only going to appeal to those of you who really like being scared, because it does look like a real kind of fright fest. It takes a couple of hours. It's only 4 out of 10 difficulty. It doesn't look too bad, but it's the kind of game that I know will really appeal to some people and probably really not appeal to others. So if it's your kind of game, then this one, like I say, is probably the Japanese version, but it is out in Europe and North America. So jump on that if you're into that kind of thing. We got another Arcade Archives game. They're just pumping them out, aren't they? Right, I haven't actually looked into Utaware Rumono. I think that's probably going to be a foreign game. It looks very much like it. But I have looked into some of these other ones. Now, Win Kings is another stacking list. This does look like an easy platinum, but hardly anyone's played it, so it's very difficult to tell for sure. But it is out, it has been out for a while. In fact, let's take a look at it here. Yeah, look at that. It's been out for several months, and there's only 13 recorded players on here. Someone asking if it's an easy plat, but no one answering him. 3 people have the platinum. Now, it's difficult because I've heard that this is easy, or it looks easy at least, and some people have mentioned it as being a straightforward one, but it's, with only 3 people having earned the platinum, it's difficult to really tell. It's that game. Do you remember we spoke about it? Oh yeah, no, it's the one with the really bad spelling mistakes. It's the one where pretty much every trophy has got some kind of spelling mistake in it, and it's not deliberate. But this is, it's the one that looks really farmy, really grindy. 10,000 kills in Versus. Yeah, I think that's probably why not many people have got it. It's not so much about the difficulty, but the fact that it's super grindy. So ArtJai, I'm guessing he's really put in effort to try and get it done quickly, and he's done it in a couple of days. 10,000 kills, surely that's going to take a long time. But anyway, there's another list up for it. In fact, we could check here and see, there's so little known about it that they don't even know what region it's from yet. There's not enough people that have played it and tested it out. Anyway, that's Win Kings. But Sublevel 0, this looks really cool. Let's take a look at the trailer here. Now, I did actually watch some gameplay on the Total Biscuit channel. He's pretty good. He does this series called WTF is and then obviously covers whichever game he's covering. Now, this is, they refer to this as a 6 Degrees of Freedom game. Now, a lot of you will know what that is. Some of you may not. It basically means that you can move in every direction, up, down, right, left, forward, back. But you can also spin around, and it's just like you can basically go anywhere at any angle. That's how they refer to it, the 6 Degrees of Freedom. But it's procedurally generated, as you may have seen, and it's permadeath. So you're making your way through all these mazes, and apparently there's a very good map, so it is easy to keep track of where you are and everything. Most of the trophies, which we'll have a look at in a moment, I'm trying to remember, most of them kind of refer to completing the game only using certain weapons or not using certain weapons, all that kind of thing. Now it looks like this one is out not this week but next week. Let's just leave that one there. So let's just take a quick look at the trophies here, because again, there are some of you who are always saying they like survival games. This isn't a survival game, but it is permadeath, it is roguelike. So as you can see here, complete the second level with no damage, complete the campaign without firing any bullet weapons. It refers to alternate levels unlocked, complete the campaign after early alternate levels, complete the campaign after final alternate levels unlocked. I'm not sure what alternate levels are. Maybe it's completing certain challenges and opening up bonus levels or something. But you need to unlock all of them and then complete the campaign again. And most of them, like I say, it's like completing it either only using bullet weapons or laser weapons or plasma weapons. Not laser, sorry, energy. Or, you know, because... yeah, okay, so here, complete any level using only plasma weapons. And then you've got other trophies for completing it without using bullet weapons, for instance. So you'd get both those trophies at the same time. So you can basically go through one level just using one type of weapon, another level using just another, and a third level using the third type, and you'll get, I think, maybe 9 trophies or something. I haven't counted them, but yeah, you'll get several trophies just for doing that. But then you've got things like completing levels without killing enemies, doing it with no damage. And I mean, it looks like it's not going to be super, super hard, but it really depends on how tough the actual game is itself, with it being permadeath and roguelike, you know. You die, that's it. So if it is a tough game to play and you do need to complete the whole campaign... oh, you know what? Sorry, guys, I misled you a moment ago. I was saying complete a level with a certain weapon. That's not good enough. You need to complete the whole campaign. So here, complete the whole campaign without firing any energy weapons, and without firing any plasma, without firing any bullets. Oh, okay. I see my mistake. So the ones for using certain weapons are individual levels. Complete a level using only bullet weapons. But the ones for not firing any particular weapon is the whole campaign. So I hope that makes sense. It's a little bit confusing. We've got some crafting ones here and stuff. It does look kind of fun, but I think the jury's out on that one when it comes to difficulty. It could really go either way. I don't think it's going to be super easy. It's not going to be an easy plat, but I think it's going to be somewhere between average and very difficult. We've got this next game here, Jump Stars. Now, I literally just had a look at this for the first time minutes ago, you know, just before starting this video. And if you search on YouTube for a trailer for this, you won't find one because everything is J-Stars Victory Plus related. But if you Google it, it does come up with one, thankfully. Now, we're actually going to skip through because the first part is literally this guy here just rambling on. And because we haven't got the sound on, it's not going to make any sense. But if we skip through to about halfway, it kind of shows you a bit of gameplay. And it seems to be like a multiplayer, almost party platformer type game. Come on, get off the screen, dude. Maybe it's further through than halfway. It's literally just a few moments at the end. Here we go. So I think it's kind of competitive and also cooperative, maybe. A bit of a party game, trying to stay alive and all that. And the trophies don't look too bad. There are a couple, again, that look like they could be troublesome. But I feel like this could end up being a straightforward plat. So we're going to have a look at these trophies for a second here. Now, there's not a huge list, which is always promising with these sort of easier games, and the majority of them look like just a case of playing through, playing the game a lot and popping the trophies eventually. Entered into tournament game mode, entered into a custom game mode with 1 game, custom game mode with 9 games. Literally, they're just things you can do at the menu screen, aren't they? Just join a game. Punched 10,000 times overall in the game. So like I say, there are trophies that will just, come in time. And obviously you'd want to be working on that while you're playing, just mashing the punch button whenever you have the chance to do so. The same applies to jumping, 10,000 jumps. And you'll notice all of these trophies have like stacks that are accumulative. And trophy sets are always quite easy. If you've got several trophies, at least they're easy to keep track of. If you think to yourself, right, I can ignore these 2 because all I've got to do is punch 10,000 times and jump 10,000 and I'll pop 6 trophies. So it's nice when you've only got like a few sort of stacking trophies to keep in mind and all the rest just come along with it. Almost a bit like in No Man's Sky, where it's like you had one screen, you had to basically level up all of those stats and reach level 10. So you're like, right, okay, I never have to look at the trophy list again because it's all in game for me. It's all kind of stacks up and it's all easy to keep track of. Here is the trophies that could be... No, sorry, these should be straightforward because they're accumulative. So gained 1 million team score overall in the game. Every time you play, I'm guessing you're going to be adding to your team score. And then we've got eating pies, 1,000 pies, broken 1,000 barriers, achieved 3,000 team score in a mini game in a single play. Right, this is the one that I was referring to that could be tricky depending on what's required, because this is in a single play. So achieve 3,000 team score in a mini game. I'm guessing the mini games aren't necessarily a case of playing against another team, but just trying to rack up a lot of points. So depending on how hard those mini games are and how high this score is, when you're playing it, that could be tricky. But based on the rest of the trophy list, I would say that's probably not going to be too tough because they don't usually put out a game that has like really easy trophies and then one really tough one, They will often put out one trophy that's harder than the rest and it requires a bit of skill, but they never go to the full extremes. If a game's going to have one like super tough trophy, then the other trophies are usually fairly average. So I'm guessing this is probably going to require a bit of skill, but not too much. Here again, we've got completed tournament, including gauntlet with 2, 3 and 4 players. Again, I'm not sure if that's... Oh, you notice the spelling mistakes as well. Including. But yeah, that gauntlet and the tournament, I don't know. I'm guessing... it looks as though it's a PvP game, split screen and all that. So I'm guessing completing the tournament is just completing it. It's not going to be anything difficult. It's just going to be sitting through it. So those should be straightforward. It's really this one here. How difficult is the minigame, or are the minigames? Anyway, so that's Jump Stars. Keep an eye on that one because I can see that one emerging as one of the new easy platinums. We have got this game here. This actually looks kind of fun, Deformers. Now, if we take a look at the trailer, you will notice straight away, which one do we want? Let's go with this. You'll notice straight away that this game will remind you very much of another one. And I think I'm going to put something about this in the title of the video, so you might already know what I'm referring to. But it is, of course, Rocket League, and you'll notice why in a moment. It already looks kind of Rocket League-esque, but when they start introducing arenas like this with goals and a football, is basically Rocket League without the cars. Now, my thinking is that these guys have seen the success of Rocket League. They've played it and enjoyed it, but they've probably noticed the one thing that makes it very random, really, which is probably what makes it fun as well, is the kind of randomness of the control. You don't have, a great degree of control over the car, because obviously you're flipping around, you're getting bounced around, and you don't have much control over what you do with the ball. But, that's what makes it a lot of fun, isn't it? It's not one of those games with a high skill level. I mean, I'm sure there are people in the world that are amazing at Rocket League and can do anything with the car, but when you're just playing naturally online, you're not coming up against people that are totally smashing you every game if you're not very experienced, because there is that degree of randomness where you can just kind of throw yourself into the fray and try and get the ball down their end and hope for the best. But they probably, realize that the guys making this game, which are actually Ready at Dawn. Ready at Dawn, you'll know that name probably from The Order 1886. Now, you might think, oh, great, The Order. It wasn't a great game. But they do have a decent pedigree, because Ready at Dawn is made up of members, ex-members of Blizzard and Naughty Dog. So that's like huge, people who've worked for those two. Obviously, it depends, how much influence they had at those companies. But it does mean that they've had at least some experience working on some really top-tier games. So it does look kind of fun. Like I say, it's basically ripping off Rocket League, but it seems like there's more control over those balls because you're kind of more stuck to the ground. It looks like you can kind of launch yourself forward in midair. And there's other kind of game modes, trying to push people off the edge and stuff like that. It's another party game, basically, kind of like Jump Stars in a way, something you'd play with friends. Hopefully it's got split screen. Yeah. It has got split screen. Anyway, if we have a look through the trophies, it looks like, if I remember correctly, it looks like it's going to be very easy. Complete an online match, straightforward. Complete a match online with split screen. Leveling up trophies. Prestiging, reach gold ranking in Prestige, get 5 kills with a single rampage. Yeah, gold ranking in Prestige, I'm guessing you need to level up, a bit like on Call of Duty, keep leveling up to the max, however many times that takes to reach gold. 5 kills with a single rampage. I'm not sure how easy that will be. I'm not sure how many other players there will be on the other team, whether there's going to be enough people to get 5 kills and how long rampage lasts for, but, we'll soon find out. Get 500 kills for those 4 trophies. I looked at this here. It starts talking about form ball. And for a minute, I thought that meant, because it says score a goal in form ball. Now, I thought that was referring to like a form that you could take, your character or your avatar. Maybe form, it's kind of in sport, obviously form refers to how well you're doing recently. So it might be a case of, or I thought it might be a case of scoring a lot of goals and being on form and then sort of scoring while you're on form. But I had a look and it seems as though form ball is simply a game mode. So when it says here, score a goal in form ball, get 10 saves, 15 assists, a hat trick, score 25 goals, or 50 goals, 100. Sorry, that's not form ball. Anyway, all these trophies are just a case of playing the game mode and racking up enough goals and assists and hat tricks and things like that. So that looks pretty easy. And I'm guessing form ball is the mode that looks very much like Rocket League. Then we've got break 100 stacks. I'm guessing that's just stuff lying around the levels. Consume 5,000 pieces of debris. Kill an enemy while you're cloaked. Maybe there's power-ups you can pick up. Kill an enemy using the pit in the center of Big Top. Now, you'll have noticed that there is a trophy for going online in split screen. Now, that makes me think that you're going to be able to play split screen without going online as well, a bit like on Rocket League. And on Rocket League, you could easily boost, you could self-boost basically all of the trophies. So you would need to go online, you wouldn't need to be playing against someone who's trying to beat you. You could just put someone else in the game if you wanted. In fact, you could play against no one on Rocket League. You could just do you versus AI and then set the AI to 0 and just be you. And you could score goals, you could get wins and stuff. Now, I'm hoping that you can do split screen on this in case there are any trophies you get bored of or that you struggle with, and you can just basically have 2 controllers. The only thing is obviously the 5 kills whilst... with a single rampage. So that will be difficult because no one's got 6 controllers or 10 controllers, however many you need to have 5 on each team. Unless you can reassign them. That might be an option. Sometimes on some games you can kind of sign someone in, get them in the game, and then reassign your controller to a new user, get them in the game and do that 5 times. So maybe if you did that enough times and got enough people on the other team and did it split screen, although they're probably not going to allow 10 player split screen, are they? How bad would that be? Trying to see, even on a huge TV, it would just be like a little box. Anyway, hopefully that's easy enough. But the rest, dead easy plat. It looks to be anyway. It's not even out yet, I don't think. But once it does come out, I may give it a go. have a look, see how it plays, and update you guys if I do get a chance to. Okay, the final game we're going to take a proper look at today is Ikimu, Splinters of Dark Shard. We've got a trailer ready here, gameplay trailer. Yeah, this is kind of reminds me of Tearaway. The animation on it is a bit Tearaway-esque. The character sort of makes me think of Iota on that Vita and PS4 game. So it's basically, I'm guessing, a platformer, pretty much. Combat platformer. Does make me think it could well be straightforward. There are some collectible trophies, so you will need to keep your eye out, but what game doesn't have collectibles these days? At least games like this, It would be nice to have some games where the trophies are, just challenging you to do certain things in the game, or I don't know, just some challenging trophies that aren't just a case of following a guide and walking into things to grab them, I suppose it does make you search the levels a bit more, but the majority of trophy hunters just they just do follow guides, don't they? Anyway, let's have a look at the trophies. I did have a quick scan through earlier. We got ones for completing the different chapters, easy ones like just jumping on 25 bounce pods, unless it's like literally only 25 in the game and they're hidden or something. But it strikes me as being something that you use in the game anyway to reach high levels or whatever. Fall into the water and the lava 10 times. Rescue these 3 characters. Now, they may be hidden or they may require other, prerequisites to be met before you can rescue them. But they might also be story related. So, without having played it, or without anyone having played it, we can't really tell at this point. You've got to slay 250 of these 4 different types of creatures, and then 50 zombies and 10 Cycloptus. And then we've got release Woodface from Dark Shard's Evil Influence. Again, another spelling mistake. It's terrible, man. There's literally 3 games on the most recently released list that have got key spelling mistakes that you notice straight away. Surely did they not proofread it? Just one scan through of this list and you'd see it. They spell it right here. But this might be the trophy for finishing the game, possibly. It kind of sounds like it's that type of thing. But then we've got this other one, release Hammerfist the Blacksmith from Dark Shard's Evil Influence. Sorry. Getting so tongue-tied today. So, maybe that's related to this collectible trophy. Destroy all of Dark Shard's splinters. Maybe once you've destroyed them all, you get an optional level to free these guys. Hammerfist and Woodface. So you do have to grab all the chests at least once. I like the fact that they've added that so that you can kind of hopefully go back and play again and grab any that you missed. And then you've got to smash the Dark Shards. Defeat Harry in his arena, releasing him from Dark Shard's control. So another one that we need to free from the darkness. Avoid an escape from Lee Far before his touch steals your soul. So that's probably going to be a speed trophy for completing a certain section quickly. It doesn't look too bad. It looks to me like it's probably going to be super easy, but it totally depends on what some of these more ambiguous trophies are talking about. Again, look, even here, did someone else write this description? Because some of them have got full stops, some haven't. There's no consistency with some of these lists. It's ridiculous. Anyway, guys, that's our lot for today. We haven't looked at every single game, but there's some interesting stuff there. Just to recap for anyone who decides to skip to the end of the video just to see what we've spoken about. Ikimu there was a platformer, basically, but like Tearaway. Looks like it's got a fairly easy trophy set. Deformers is a party game very similar to Rocket League. Looks like you might be able to, self-boost a lot of the trophies using split screen. Jump Stars, again another party game, and a lot of those are just literally a case of grinding, playing the game a lot, jumping and punching a lot, that kind of thing. And then there's one trophy that relates to a mini game, getting a certain score in a mini game, so that could be difficult, but I doubt it. Sub-Level 0 is the 6 Degrees of Freedom sort of flight game through mazes, procedurally generated mazes. It's permadeath, so roguelike, basically. And there's trophies for completing the whole game using only certain weapons and things like that. Then do we have anything else here? Well, we just mentioned Emily wants to play in passing, didn't we? It's worth mentioning Malicious as well. This is like a remaster of 2 of the Malicious games from, I think, PS3, or at least last generation. Now, they didn't get very good scores, but I've seen a lot of people on forums saying that they're underrated and that the remaster on PS4 looks really good. So these are action games, almost like what you'd expect from like Platinum games or something like that. It's not by Platinum, but it looks kind of cool. Oh, and of course, For Honor. For Honor looks fairly straightforward. It depends how hard the highest difficulty on the campaign is, and also there's one trophy for getting 5 kill streaks of 5 kills. So, it depends. Well, you'd have to be pretty good online, or it depends if maybe you might be able to boost it somehow or find a strategy for that. But there you go, guys. Interesting, varied selection of games there. As I mentioned, on Wednesday, I'm going to be putting up a video. I'm going to record it Tuesday night and have it up on Wednesday. And just to give you kind of a teaser, it's basically going to be the start of a new weekly show. The subject of the first episode is going to be different. We're going to be focusing on Patreon, but specifically on some rewards I've put up. Now, I was going to hold back and speak about them on Wednesday, but obviously you guys are like my loyal supporters who watch this show every week. I might as well give you like a bit of a head start on that, because some of you may want to jump in and sign up for some of the rewards that are kind of first come, first served, or are, maybe have limited numbers. There's one reward that only has space for a certain number of people. So I thought I'd mention it to you guys now, just so you can go and have a look. But if you want to wait till Wednesday, I will be running through them properly and explaining exactly how each one of them works and showing you how to subscribe on Patreon if you do want to support me and sort of benefit from those rewards. I'm also going to be showing you some cool stuff that you might not have seen yet. Just sending out some thank yous as well. Some actual specific thank yous for some of you guys. So that's Wednesday's show. And as I say, I will then start putting up a show every Wednesday, and I'll be talking about the subject of that show in Wednesday's video. So make sure to tune in for that, guys. I look forward to seeing you there. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe, of course, if you enjoy the content. And all of you, don't forget to like if you enjoyed the video, because it really does help the channel. Every time anyone comments or likes or even, watches a video, of course, it does count as engagement with the video, and it helps boost up its search results on YouTube. So thanks for all the support, guys. I will see you on Wednesday, and have a great week until then. Cheers.